Yo, what's happening, people? Yeah, just a quick one. Come back on about Dean and Ditchy situation. It's starting to escalate now, innit? Ditchy's coming out of his shell a little bit. He's fucking biting back. But yeah, so I watched that thing yesterday on that. They were both on that kid's podcast, weren't they? Or that kid's channel. I think he's Dean's cousin or something. But to be fair, he was pretty fair, that lad. Even though he was Dean's cousin, he asked Dean questions we've all been wanting to hear, didn't I? And he asked Ditcher the questions we all wanted to hear, so he didn't jump on no side. He stayed down the middle. So yeah, I respect that. I think he's got a pretty good channel, him. But going back on the subject, yeah, I think Ditchy's been well underestimated. Because I remember when he was gonna fight living in London, and I watched a video of him on the pads, and I'm a proper hardcore boxing fan, me. I know boxing inside out, watched it all my life, and I've trained, I've done boxing a lot, so I seen him on the pads, and he can box. You know what I mean? The kid can box, and all he can. And I seen a little video he did the other day, and I thought, fucking hell, he looks shit. He was like doing weird punches and that, and I thought, fucking hell, I'm sure I remember watching him, and he could box. And he said yesterday, didn't he, that he's been putting shit out to make himself look shit. And he definitely has, because I remember seeing a video of him on the pads and he looked fucking good, he looked sharp. You know what I mean? I could tell straight away he can box. So I think he's been underestimated, and he ain't going to be a walkover for Dean. Definitely fucking not. And I don't know what the size difference is between the two, but I think if there is a size difference, defo going to come into play, because he's not just a kid that Dean's going to walk in and just roll over. You know what I mean? He can throw a punch. If he can take one, then he's fucking hell, he's going to be there for the long run, innit? He's going to be used the fittest. So I don't know how hard Dean's training, because he's got all the shit going on anyway with 3D Fight Club and all that. Sometimes he could take his mind off it, and if he genuinely ain't going to fight Deco, it might not be training full on. Do you know what I mean? If he knows the Deco fight ain't going to happen, and he thinks he can just walk over what's her name, Ditcher, it's going to be an hard night for him. So I think he needs to get his head down training, because I think defo 100% everyone's underestimating Ditcher. He's obviously not scared of having a fight, because he's come out and put it on Dean, hasn't he, really? So he could have chosen an easier option, couldn't he? He could have just fought that fucking sausage rolls and done him in. But he didn't. He come and fought. He chose Dean instead. But like I said in the other video, it's a win-win for him against Dean, innit, at the end of the day, because 90% of people think Dean should win and all that, so he can't lose, really, can he? If he gets battered, he's meant to get battered. If he don't get battered and he wins, then fucking hell, bonus, innit? Everyone's like, oh, Ditchy, go on, lad, he's then the main man on YouTube, innit? So he's made the right move, really. He knows what he's doing, he's not daft him. But yeah, going back to the fight, I think it's going to be closer than what everyone thinks now. First, I just thought Dean had rolling, but then I remembered sort of thinking about it, that he can have a fight, he can do a lot. He's a good boxer. I've seen him on the pads. Don't mean you can fight because you can box, does it? But you know what I mean. If he can fight half as much as how game he is, then fucking hell, he's in for a tough night, aren't they?